It is the Riot Podcast, Monday, May 15th edition.
Today we talked about, should you own a gun?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's more about fool me once, shame on you. Fool the Grizzlies twice. But I feel like this is more than just about owning a gun. This guy has a problem because he owns a gun. Like, he just can't handle it.
Yeah, we get into a real good gun debate about
John Morant.
John Morant, he's back in the news. I actually saw this, was it yesterday evening? And I just at home, I was like, this guy?
You're like, what you learn? You get paid $40 million a year to just be a good boy. And he can't do it. He can't figure it out. And that's the craziest part. It'd be one thing if he was just some everyday Joe, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's making $40 million a year, and he's gotten 2 warnings. That's just nuts to me.
And I just feel bad because I always feel bad for the handlers, like the people that are probably managing his life.
Yeah.
And they're screaming at him, like, stop doing stuff. Like, stop and get it together. He had to do all the counseling stuff for the last thing. Like, just knock it off. And then he's never probably stopped. This is just the first time that he got caught again.
Right.
So
Can you imagine, like,
we cover that.
your mom, like, getting a phone call from your mom afterwards? She's like, what is wrong with you?
Yes.
Like, we grew up like very normal people. We didn't have millions of dollars. And now that you have millions of dollars, you're acting like an idiot. Like, my mom, oh my gosh.
To
I
be
do
so
feel like
She
mad.
would kill me.
his
It'd be
mom
crazy.
is probably real upset. don't
She
you think?
has to be crazy
Yeah.
upset.
She
She'd be
probably-
like, she's like, I worked my whole life so that you could go and practice basketball, and then you went to the NBA and you're making millions of dollars,
Yeah.
and now you're going to throw it all away.
All right.
Oh, my mom would slap me upside the head.
Here's a question. How many millions of dollars, how much money would it take for you to not have a gun?
Oh,
Well,
To just not have
oh,
one.
1 million?
Oh,
10 million? 20 million? However many you'll give me, actually, I'll take.
but again, anybody else, you could have a gun and not have this issue. Like, this
You could.
guy just has a
True,
big...
but not him.
How many millions would it be for you not to flash a gun on camera?
To have one and just not show
Just
it to
don't
people.
show it to people.
Well, then what's the point of having
Oh,
one?
exactly.
Why don't you text in your answer? No.
Yeah.
And listen to the details on him getting in trouble again and just why everybody's frustrated.
We also talked about owning a hamster.
Oh.
Hmm.
And how many millions would it take
Yeah.
for you to have a hamster? And would you accessorize your hamster if you had one?
Did you guys have any weird pets?
Growing up,
You did, didn't you?
I always had dogs.
Do you have anything else?
I had a bunny, but it was only overnight. I found it and it had been bitten and then it died overnight. And my mom had to tell me in the morning.
You had a bunny for one night?
Yeah, it died. It wasn't
Did
going to
you
live.
you found it and you brought it home and it died that night?
We found it in the grass and it had like 2 puncture wounds in it because something bit it. And we're like, no. So we went to a little pet store, got like bunny milk and all that stuff and tried and put it in a little box. And I remember sleeping next to the box. And then, when your mom comes and wakes you up in the morning, you're like, it's not around. It didn't make it. It died.
It didn't make it through one night.
It was a little baby bunny. It was too injured.
Why didn't you take it to like the Humane Society or something?
Oh, it was too late at night when we got it.
They were keeping the bunny.
Well, yeah, I mean.
They weren't worried about that.
I
Mickey
thought
was
we
like,
could
bunny.
save it. Are you trying to guilt me like I could have done
You
more?
could have saved the bunny's life.
Uh-huh.
That
That's
was
what I'm
so
thinking.
little. Don't tell me that. Do not tell me that. That's awful.
What about you, Hudson? Do you have anything else?
I went through a few cats. We had Monkey. We had Blue.
You had a monkey?
No,
No.
his name was Monkey.
okay.
The cat.
Phew, I
The
was
cat
like,
was named Monkey.
I was like, please
This is
don't
the first
glance
cat.
over that.
My parents named him Monkey. My mom rescued him. I think. I can't remember which of the two she rescued, found by a dumpster outside of McDonald's or something. But because Monkey got his name because he would climb up like on top of the fridge and eat brownies and stuff like that. So,
and take stuff?
yeah, so that's and then Blue was named after Don Cherry's dog. He's
Wait,
a hockey
can we
commentator.
go back? Why were your brownies kept above the fridge?
Because we had a cat that was a monkey.
Oh, okay.
so-
it wasn't like
you were hiding it from
couldn't
him.
have
Yes,
any, and so she hid them
It
from
was
you
not
guys.
that wasn't the first time that she'd been fooled by this mischievous cat.
I see.
But Monkey really affected me when he died. Then when Blue died, he got so old that I didn't care because I was also old enough to not care.
Yeah.
That's sad.
And then there was Nibbler the cat who did not live very long.
You guys had a lot of cats.
That was the cat that nobody could agree on his name. It was my sister's cat. She called him one thing. My dad called him a different thing. I called him Nibbler from Futurama.
Dude, he was
We
ready to
never
get out of that
agreed.
household.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys
probably
were
why
messing
he
him
died
up.
such a young death.
Yeah. Please
and
don't
what
say
else
from
did we have?
brownies.
You guys have anything else? 3 cats.
3 cats.
No dogs.
You want to hear a
Didn't
story
have a
about
dog till I got to move out.
one of my dogs, though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ready? Come closer. You know, I have a brother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we had a schnauzer, a miniature schnauzer, and he was kind of like all of our stuff. But, you know, schnauzers have like the bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
I remember one night my brother was awful. He cut off my schnauzer's eyebrows and got in so much trouble.
No way.
And because I thought like he could have poked his eyes out.
With what, like
Oh my
scissors?
gosh.
And we were really young, and my brother got in so much trouble, and my poor dog had no eyebrows for
That's
quite
crazy.
some time, and he was just like always looking around.
Oh my gosh.
He always
That's
looked
nuts.
startled.
Yeah. Wow.
He couldn't have a dog after that for a while.
Yeah, I can imagine. He wasn't allowed to be alone with the pups after
Oh,
that.
I remember having pets when we were young.
Yeah, I don't think I had any. I mean, I can't top that. I don't think I had any other pets. I mean, maybe fish when I was very young for a short period of time.
Well,
but
that was it.
that
I
was
had
it.
one cat when I was little. His name was Mr. Crackers. He was a barn cat. And it turned out that it was actually Mrs. Crackers because she had a bunch of kittens when I was little. And then once she had the kittens,
Oh, so was there a Mr. Crackers?
there was somewhere in the field. Somewhere in the field there was, but we didn't know where. But then after Mrs. Crackers had all the kittens, then my family decided to relocate her kittens and her to like a farm somewhere. So we didn't get to keep
Because
them.
that happened?
Yeah, because she said that it wasn't a good place for them. I guess.
Oh, my.
They need to be at a farm. I guess I don't know what.
upstate?
I was like 7 at the time, so I didn't really know what happened. But there were kittens, and I saw them all.
You know-
and Mrs. Crackers was in good health when she left.
Mrs. Crackers, it was just an accident already.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to punish her.
And so she went and lived at a farm because they always said they'd be happier there. I don't know what happened. I need to ask my parents about that.
Yeah.
But
We need the full story.
that was from the age of like 0 to 7, probably. I had that cat. We never had an inside animal. We always had the pigs. We did pigs every year. And so we'd have a rotation of
pigs out time.
I forgot I had 2 turtles.
Ooh.
Really?
And the turtles are surprisingly resilient.
And what did you do
Were
with
you
them?
trying to?
It's just that like
They live long, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't always great at cleaning out their cage. Their tank. It the filters just get so nasty so quick. And so sometimes the water get pretty icky and believe it or not, it's still cleaner than pond water. So they somehow still manage to survive quite a long time.
I saw on a turtle TikTok.
Yeah.
Some people bury their turtles during the winter. They like go underground and they hibernate under the ground.
No
And then
way.
the turtles will come back up in the springtime. They'll dig themselves out.
How do you know though, like when this turtle's gonna dig himself out so you can catch him so he doesn't run away?
Some
Keeping
people
their eyes
will
peeled.
some people will just start the process and kind of like get it close and then know
coax them out.
Yeah, within a few days they'll wake up and they'll come out.
Wouldn't that be so cool if you could just like bury yourself and sleep for months at a time?
It'd be nice.
And come back. I mean, they save money on like food and stuff, I guess. I don't know
Yeah.
how much turtle food costs
So
or
you
how much they
only-
could possibly eat.
Not a lot.
You
I
would
didn't
only
think
have
so.
to have a turtle like half the year.
And it probably, and you know what? Every time the winter ended and they came back, it would be like a whole new turtle. You'd be so excited. You'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, Frankie, look who it is. He's back. And then you'd be excited for like the first like 2 months he's there. And then by the end of the summer, you put him away. Then you have your little break. And then by the time he comes back, you're like, oh my gosh, Frankie, I'm so excited.
Perfect.
It makes a turtle an exciting pet because if you didn't put him in the ground for 6 months, it would not be an exciting
Well, I
pet.
thought
No,
it was
what's
a lie
kind-
at first. I was like, "Why are you burying the turtle? Did he
Yeah.
die?" And no, they hibernate like that.
The
But
fun-
again, guys, it's almost 9 minutes. We must go soon.
Well, the fun part about having a turtle is when you feed it live fish, though.
Can't have that.
That was kind of cool watching it chase them around. And you wouldn't think a turtle, they're not known for being very fast.
But
That's
they
enough for
are.
being
Fast
slow,
enough,
I heard.
Fast enough to catch a fish.
They can swim fast.
Yeah.
All right.
Fast
Well,
enough.
that's Turtle Riot Talk. So that's it for that. Make sure you join us and text us at 8772 Radio U. What was your first pet? What did
Good
you
question.
have? And what was their names too?
Yes.
In case you
Text
had a
that in, and there's definitely other stuff in the podcast, but we'll talk to you next
In
time.
case, did you have a Mr. Crackers?
Mr. or Mrs.
Whichever one. Have a good day.
See you guys.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Shein has done it again. I've got some Shein finds for you guys. You ready for this?
So Shein being the fast fashion, cheap clothing thing.
Some say cheap, others say affordable.
No, I think think everybody agrees.
Others
it's cheap.
say a great deal.
Or cheap quality for some stuff.
Well, we can't all be, fashionable like you.
No,
We can't all be luxury like Nikki.
No, but I feel like there's been a few of my friends that have been worried out of your big purchase. What will give you a rash?
What's going to actually fit you?
Exactly.
Well, I've got good news that the Shein finds I have here wouldn't give you a rash, probably, but they might give it to your hamster. Have you seen all the hamster accessories that you can get on Shein?
Like clothing and
All
stuff?
right, pause before we continue.
What?
It's Shein.
No.
It's Shein. And it's Shein.
It's Shein.
It's Shein.
It's Shein.
Guys, it's Shein.
Do I need to show you their Twitter account?
I don't care what it says.
It is Shein.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying when I talk to people every day, everybody says Shein, but you guys can call it Shein. You guys can continue.
Everybody says it probably wrong.
Yes,
That's
you're
fine.
right. It's important for us as broadcasters and professionals to say it correctly. And
Okay.
all of your friends can say it however they want.
And you're going to call it Shein. That's fine. You can continue.
I will let you guys say Reese's, but on this show, we
We will
pronounce it
not.
Shein.
Shein is fine, but I'm going to call it Shein, but that's okay. Continue.
All right. On Shein, you can get hamster clothes, including I've found hamster glasses,
Aw.
hamster shoes. You could get a hamster, like a dress for your hamster, sweaters, hats. Also, it doesn't stop there, though. I can also find you a shopping cart for your hamster to sleep in.
Oh, they're so cute. There's like a banana hammock
Oh, you
and a
can't
little
say that
sweater.
on the radio. It's not a little
okay.
raunchy.
It's a.
What are you going to say next? Cod piece?
No, it's actually a little banana with the top peeled off, and then the thing can go in there. It's got little slippers for your hamster to wear.
a strawberry sweater.
Oh, these are cute.
Would you put a hamster in any of this stuff?
If I had a hamster,
Does it make you want to get a hamster just so you can dress it up like your little doll?
I think hamsters. It's hard to have hamsters. So.
I think a hamster is kind of a silly pet.
It's a silly pet.
It's
I
like-
think it's kind of a
This-
silly pet.
It's always for when you were younger and your parents wouldn't let you have the responsibility
Yes.
of
Yeah.
a dog. So you got a hamster.
And so then you convince yourself you wanted a hamster,
All
and you're
along.
like, and your parents are like, why would you want a hamster? What are you gonna do with a hamster?
It feels like hamsters are so low maintenance, though.
What would you do with it? I think it's just a silly pet because it's like
You
having
dress it up.
It's like having a goldfish. Like, what are you gonna do?
strawberry.
You know?
You
It's in
can't dress up
between
a
that.
goldfish.
I did see someone who did a pretty well-received TikTok where it's like the cheaper version of American Girl doll.
Okay.
You buy all those things like
Canadian
Walmart.
woman.
No, like Walmart and Target have
Okay, yeah.
generic brands. So you buy the doll furniture and then you put it in your pet's enclosure. So they have like a living room and stuff.
And that was received positively.
Well, it looked really cute.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It looked spectacular. It looked better than our first places.
I think if you
Sounds
get
kind of weird.
if you get a hamster, you could dress it up and then like send it through mazes or something, and you could do a whole like theme with it. And I think that would go pretty well online too.
I just thought they always died like in random places at random times.
Yeah.
So it'd be bad
Or
if you dressed them up in their finery
we
and
also
then they died in the maze.
I guarantee this is what would happen because I know friends this happened to. All three of us have dogs.
Yeah.
If any of us got a hamster, somehow
the dog.
the dog, particularly Jim, would find a way, not to necessarily meaning to harm the hamster, but it would want to play, and then it would get the hamster, and then it'd be
It'd eat the hamster.
trouble. Yeah.
they would be.
So,
Okay, so that's a no,
Probably not for
Isaiah,
us.
on the
I would lean no,
hamster clothes.
only because I don't want a hamster.
but if
But
you
the clothes are cute
Imagine, though, the tiny Shein bag that comes to your house. It's a very tiny
And
bag.
very tiny little
the
bag.
reviews for these are through the roof, by the way.
And then you
I
tell
bet.
They
you
are
tell your
5
delivery
stars.
driver, you're like, listen, this is like 10 outfits. I don't know how they get it in there.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
I don't know if you guys got to see the video going around over the weekend from the Little League baseball game where, of course, if you played Little League baseball, if you've been around it, you've probably seen a parent get a little too animated, get a little too upset, go after the umpire a little bit, verbally.
Yeah.
Sometimes that parent is the coach. And then very, very rarely you get an instance like this where the coach doesn't just go after the umpire verbally. He goes after him physically.
Oh, and this is Little League, you said.
It's Little League.
They're fighting.
And there's 2 umpires going with one. It's like a real tournament. And so it's 2 umpires, and then they've got one coach, and the coach is arguing with them all the way to the point of the coach tackles one of them, kind of suplexes him to the ground.
He does that sort of like he's chest bumping him, like, come on. And then they just start fighting.
And, just looking like a fool. Some people are saying the team should have got kicked out of the tournament. I don't think that's fair. It's not
the team's fault.
It's not the 11-year-old's fault. But, I mean, this coach should never be allowed to coach again. Anytime you have 11-year-olds breaking up a fight with adults, that's a sign that you've made a fool of yourself.
Now, Isaiah, you know how you want to get a viral video? Like, how fun would that be?
This would be a good way.
What if you get your softball team one time to reenact this whole thing?
And I attack a referee?
Yeah.
I feel like that might be
But you're not
troublesome.
really doing it? Like, you could even take the audio.
But you're saying
from
make it
Yeah.
fake.
Make a fake one.
This
Make a
doesn't have
fake.
audio with it, unfortunately.
I think you can make audio.
Yeah.
I could just fake it.
Yeah, you could.
So you're saying the best way to get viral is just by doing fake stuff?
But
It's
people.
copying this, so it's like a tribute.
It's a tribute.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're saying like a remix of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just for
pretty
fun,
much.
just like overact it,
It-
sort of
it wouldn't-
over exaggerate.
It wouldn't be the best video in the world, but it would be a tribute.
It'd be a tribute, yes.
I think it could be. It's a good.
If we
idea
can't go
for the-
viral on radio, you think I'm going to be able to make a viral video?
With your softball team?
My softball team?
Yes, I do. I
See,
think you could.
The direction I was going was I thought you could be a baseball umpire and just make such egregious calls until somebody tackles
Just
you.
fights me.
Yeah,
That's a much better idea.
That would go viral too, I think. So.
I think that's what I need to do.
That's hard because I'm sure the rest of the coaches are probably like, let's have good sportsmanship. You know, you're playing. It's not about winning. And here you go. Your other coach is fighting.
Yeah, this guy's an idiot.
He's a dang fool.
I mean, you look so It's 11 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, your kid probably can't even really hit the ball. Is it coach pitch? Like, what is going on here? Are children even pitching it? This is crazy.
It looks more official. Like they can look like
They
they,
got
can
nice,
play.
They're
nice
11.
uniforms. There's
Yeah.
multiple umpires, but it's still like, what could you possibly be
Like,
that upset about?
11, I don't know what age, 11 years old. That's like 4th grade or something. I played baseball until like 3rd grade. I sucked. I still played because everybody played, and I don't remember a single game. And so whatever he's arguing about for his kid, in 10 years, your kid won't even remember. That's how not important it is. But he will remember forever you fighting an umpire. He would have never remembered that blown call. He will remember you forever fighting the umpire.
So what you're saying is this is building memories.
It is building
Yeah.
memories, and your dad also is a dang fool for the rest of your middle school, high school career. He's always going to be known as a hothead who's way too into the sports, way too
Well,
into
he
it.
could be. He just wanted to get out of coaching the
Maybe.
baseball
It's
team.
a
It's a good way to do it.
So this is
Nearly
a
a
way.
guarantee.
Maybe he signed up for a responsibility, and he's like, I just can't. How can you turn down this job? But yeah, it's true. I was thinking too. It's disappointing. This guy, he'd make a great manager in Major League Baseball, though.
Is this a fighting skills?
Those umpires need to be tackled. So I think he should he deserves a promotion, actually.
Hudson, I'm getting 2 conflicting messages. I don't know if I'm supposed to be fighting or not.
As long as it's Little League, the umpires are the good guys. When it's the pros,
They're
they're
bad.
always the bad guys.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
You've seen the 13-year-old girl from Florida who fought off a shark attack?
No, she did?
Yeah.
Good for her.
13 years old. Her name is Ella Reed. She was sitting in shallow water on a Florida beach hanging out with a friend when up from nowhere comes a shark that bit her on the stomach.
They think it was like a 5 to 6 footer shark.
They say she believed it was 5 to 6 feet. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I trust her.
Well,
I
they
mean,
can
nobody.
usually tell by the bite marks.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how they measure it.
Then why did they ask her? How big,
Well, I'm sure they wanted her interpretation.
how big did you think the shark that bit you was? I don't know, 5 to 6 feet. It was hard to get a good gauge because it was trying to kill me.
It was biting her.
I was fighting for my life.
Did she
but
punch it in the nose? Is what you're supposed
She
to
did.
do.
She punched. She must have heard that somewhere because she went ahead and punched it, and that was enough to get it away from her long enough so that she and her friend could make an escape. But she did need 19 stitches when it was all said and done.
That'd be scary.
That's tough, but what a story, though. Would you guys get bitten by a shark just for the story?
You mean like Because then everybody be like, oh, you always have this saying that
Yeah,
you're.
especially if you got a scar from it.
I don't know.
How quickly do I recover?
And how many stitches? Like
And what
how
month is
bad?
it? What month is it?
Similar. This 13-year-old girl survived from it. So I think you guys are going to be fine.
But listen,
Is it worth the 19 stitches for the story?
I think if it's like October, yes. If it's May, no.
Because you don't want to show the scars?
No, because it's summertime and I've got things I want to do. But if it's like October for the winter, I'll be at home in the wintertime in like a wheelchair or something for a little bit. That's fine. But I'm not ruining my whole summer.
I don't think she needs a wheelchair.
She got
It's
bit
just
by a
bit her on the
shark.
stomach.
I mean, I feel like there's going to be some complications to that.
Well, a lot of times you have to wait till you can go back into the water again.
Ooh.
Can she
mostly, and then
tan?
also like because of the stitches and stuff.
Can she run around? There's lots of stuff she wants to do this summer.
I think, okay, here's a picture you can see of the actual bite. That's before they stitched it up.
Well, is this impressive or not? All right.
I'm saying.
Is it a big deal or
I'm
not?
saying we're all talking about it now. It sounds like it's a huge. I mean, it is
a
crazy
big
to get
deal?
attached by a shark, but I feel that it might not actually be as bad as you think it is because she doesn't need a wheelchair. She can still run around.
Well, then
and enjoy
why are
her
we talking
summer.
about a dog bite on the air? If somebody got bit by a dog and they fought him off, I'm not talking about that.
It depends on the bite. I mean, she's very fortunate, but
Yeah.
imagine if the one time you were out there, it was a bigger shark, or it bit you in an area where you bleed out or something.
Yeah, it could be bad, but I'm saying if I'm her, I think this is
pretty
going to
tough
be
now.
valuable for the rest of your life.
This is your from this moment
This
on.
is your Letterman jacket.
That's in your,
That's your thing.
college letter, like to try to get into
You
college.
survived the shark attack.
You're putting that in absolutely everything.
So, yes. So the point I'm making is worth it.
Maybe.
But don't you think she'll have PTSD?
Probably.
I
Like
don't
going
know.
into the water
Do you
again?
think you would have PTSD?
If I got bit by a shark in the water,
If you
I'd
got-
probably be nervous for a while to go back in.
You called it a dog bite. If you got bit by a dog, would you be afraid of dogs forever?
I would say if it was a pretty serious one, I would be kind of tweaked out about it.
But how many experiences with dogs do you already have where they haven't bit you?
It takes one bad one to make
If I
you
got
nervous.
attacked by anything, I would be nervous going up to it a second time.
I think that's, I understand, but at the same time,
You don't understand
it's worth
PTSD,
it.
clearly.
It's worth it. It's
You
worth
just
it.
want-
I'm not
the shark
saying the
to bite
shark
you?
bite isn't worth it, but
I'm going to the beach a couple times this year. I'm seeking out sharks. I'm going to cut open an open wound and let it bleed into the water so that one will bite my ankle. I
We
can get a
won't see you
story in the
after.
news.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
We've got a update on John Morant from the NBA.
What did he do
Him
this
from
time?
the Memphis Grizzlies. He did a similar thing to what he got in trouble for previously, which is yesterday morning, he was caught on Instagram Live flashing a gun on camera.
So he's done that before, but I thought he did it another time before that, or it was at some sort of club where he has just continually been showing a gun somewhere.
he's been seen with a gun once.
Once?
I think the
Didn't he
two
do something
incidents.
else?
There was two incidents, right? One
did something
was
else.
he had the gun on Instagram Live prior to this, and the other time he got into some altercation, right?
I can't remember
Yeah.
now.
I don't even remember.
He's gotten in trouble twice.
What I know
and they both were
is
minor infractions.
that he was at a club in Colorado and he pulled out a gun. So that was when he got in trouble previously. Now this time they're saying already the Memphis Grizzlies are saying he's suspended currently from all team activities.
How is he not indefinitely suspended?
What do you mean?
Well, like forever, ever. How's he not off?
Well, what
the
did he
team?
do
what?
wrong?
Well, he showed the gun again. They
Well,
said
what-
don't do it.
Is it illegal to own a gun?
Well, what he's doing,
What?
he obviously can't handle it, guys.
He clearly
hasn't-
cannot be on video with a gun.
Yeah.
He just can't.
It's a
He's
known
not-
law. You can't
It's a
be-
known law. You can't be pictured with a gun.
It could be a Grizzlies law. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I
could
mean, it
be.
is.
They
It's
probably said,
it's-
"Don't do it
In
again."
his case, it's probably a law for him. It's stupid. It's dumb. I don't
It's
know
so
why he
dumb.
would do that. But at the same time, to like punish a guy for just having a gun.
If
on
I was his
video.
handler, I would have said, "I took that gun. Why do you have another one?"
Well,
I wouldn't let him on anything live.
he lives in Tennessee. Nobody can take his guns away.
And at this point, I would say you cannot be alone by yourself in the car.
He wasn't alone.
Yes.
What was he? Was he with?
He's with a bunch of His friends.
Okay.
Not
They were
teammates.
just having a good time. The previous one was a problem because he was like threatening somebody with it. So
Yes,
clearly that's an
what happened.
issue.
Didn't he like threaten the Indiana Pacers team or something? There was like a laser.
There was definitely something with the Pacers he had an issue with.
Some sort of red dot. I can't remember.
And then he had the incident at the club in Colorado. But he has threatened people with it before. This was not that. This is him. He's having a good time. For some reason, he thought, while I'm dancing in the car while we're all having a good time, you know what I should do is bring my gun out, even though I've gotten in trouble for having one in a threatening manner before. He should know better, but also he didn't actually do anything wrong.
Can you imagine if we were all just like the three of us, just like riding in the car together, listening to Radio U, and I'm just like, oh, let me whip out my gun and just flinging it around. Like, this is so stupid. I don't understand.
That's basically exactly what happened, but it's not us. It was them. So when it cuts back to him, he was not on camera anymore for a bit. It was just with his friends, who don't seem like good choices for friends, but I'll leave
Clearly
that for your own interpretation. He pulled out the gun. He was waving it around.
For no reason.
The camera quickly moves off of him, and then when it goes back, he's not had the gun anymore. So he's taking a leave of absence from the team. They're making him.
Real question. Well, it's unfortunate because he,
Don't you dare say it's because he's a good player.
It is.
No, it is.
I mean, that's why
unfortunate.
he's still on the team. But.
No, but like we talked about this when he went through all the prior stuff, and we were hopeful that, he entered a counseling program and everything. It was like, hopefully he understands the gravity of the mistakes he's making, and he's got a family and stuff. Hopefully he'll get things on track. And
he's got a family, and he's just with his friends in the car waving a gun around.
Yeah.
What? How old is he?
I think he's like 22.
23, yeah.
He needs to grow up.
Younger than
you
any
would think.
Yeah, you would think, but unfortunately, no. Not yet.
So he's been suspended for this incident, but they don't know how long.
They're not even playing games. They've been long eliminated. So
no, he needs some other punishment.
By the time the season rolls around, he'll be back in action.
Or will he have another problem?
He'll have something else.
I hope not.
At this point, I'd be surprised if he doesn't mess up again.
I guess so. Especially when messing up is doing something that's not even illegal.
If you like that video, there's a ton more. Go check out our past videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.